Hello, everybody. I thought I would try this again since last time I tried to make a video, my ear was bothering me and I couldn't do it. I was going to read something to you. My ear is doing a little bit better today, so I'm going to try again. If you're new to my channel, we're talking about grief, and my precious husband died 7 months ago. 7 months ago on Friday. And I just started making these videos as a way to walk with others through this horrific journey of loss. And I'm here to cry with you and try to make you laugh. We do what we have to do, right? I'm just here to be a friend that understands, for the most part, what you're going through when you lose someone. I know how lonely it is, and I know you just want someone there to talk to, or listen to, or just be there. So if you don't have someone to just be there with you, then that's why I'm here. I don't have anyone to be here with me since my husband is gone. So that's what I'm here for, just to help you guys through your grief, and hopefully I can make you smile and laugh. I try to do that at least once or twice a day, because it gets really heavy when you sit in the sadness all the time. And the sadness never goes away, but sometimes you just have to take a break from it, you know. I don't know if that's possible in the first few months because it's so intense. But eventually, you just want to have moments where you smile and laugh again. It doesn't mean that anything has changed. Doesn't mean you're not hurting. Doesn't mean that you want to live. Doesn't mean that you're better. It just means that it wears on your body after a while when you're just sad all the time. So I like to call it a break from grief. I just try to set it on the shelf for at least 5 minutes, and then I'll pick it right back up later. But, you know, we have to take a break every now and then because we'll go crazy if we don't. So hopefully I can be that break for you. Maybe. Sometimes I'm just sad and depressed, so I'm probably not very helpful then, but well, I at least can let you know that you're not alone in how you're feeling. And I would come and sit with you if I could. I wish I could. This is no easy journey. But anyway, that's the basis of my channel, and I wanted to read something out of the book I'm currently reading to you today, because if I find something that helps me even for 2 seconds, I want to share it with you guys. And if you find something that helps you even for 5 seconds, share it with us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help each other, and anything that helps is a bonus. having a pet can really help if you're able to take care of a pet. I don't know what I would do without my cats. They've really kept me going. I have a little dog too, but he's not here. He's out at my parents' property. I can only have 2 pets here in this apartment. So I have my 2 cats here. You guys never see them because I'm severely allergic to cats, and so they have to stay in the back. And I have to wear a mask, a respirator, when I play with them and feed them because I'm extremely allergic to cats. So why do I have cats if I'm extremely allergic to them? I just love cats. I know it's causing me pain, but they also bring me a lot of joy. So I think I'd be more sad if I didn't have them. So this book I'm reading now, it's called Divine Disruption. And it was written by Dr. Tony Evans and his family. If you've ever heard of Pastor Tony Evans, he's one of my favorites. I like him a lot. And this is their book that they wrote together after they had a lot of losses in their family. And his wife died and his dad died, and they had like 5 or 6 losses, I can't remember now, all in the matter of like 2 years. So they all wrote a book together about it, and I recommend it if you've had a lot of losses, especially during this COVID era. I don't get paid or anything for recommending books. I just tell you guys what I like. Although I'm sure Dr. Tony Evans doesn't mind if I give him a shout out for his book. Love you, Dr. Evans. Okay, I just want to read this little bit where they talk about anger, and this is his son. His son Anthony had a lot of anger after the losses. His mom died and several other relatives, so I struggle with anger. I think more than anything, just being upset with God and just mad. And he talks about that, and I appreciate the fact that he did. So I'm going to read you the little bit that he said. But before I do, just know that I base everything on God and His Word and Jesus, because I'm a follower of Jesus. But if you're not, I just want you to know that you're still absolutely welcome here, and I hope you'll still be encouraged and consider me a friend. No matter what you believe, you're more than welcome to be here and watch and listen. And I love everybody. I have friends that are of all different beliefs. I have friends that are atheist, agnostic, Buddhist, probably Muslim. I don't know. I have friends from India, so acquaintances, not really like close friends, but like. So whatever you believe, I love you, and Jesus loves you. So just know that you're welcome here too. And even if you don't choose to follow Jesus, I'm sure you can learn something. Because not only was he the Son of God, he was also a great teacher, probably the best ever. So, well, of course he was the best ever. I mean, he's God, so. But even if you don't want to believe that, I'm sure you can learn something, because he was a great teacher. And just wanted to tell you that you're welcome here before I read. So, Anthony says, he's talking about all the losses and dealing with the losses and the anger. He says, if I were not in this family, meaning a Christian family in the ministry, if I were not in this family, I would have been gone a long time ago. Because this kind of stuff throws me way off. If you're like me, when you lose a family member that is so close, that you're so connected to, and you race to their side and you hold their kids as they cry, and they look up to you and ask, Uncle Nini, why? Why? And you are so full of rage because you cannot believe this is happening. It wasn't because of something evil. Her heart just stopped. And I feel like God allowed that to happen. So honestly, I just can't go to hope and faith so quickly. Right now, I am just mad. How do I process my feelings of betrayal and anger? I can't just immediately start quoting Bible verses. First, I have to process the pain. Dad told me it was okay to be angry, as long as we do not allow that anger to cause us to sin or to turn our heart against God. The vulnerability and the authenticity of just being able to express my anger and my confusion, just to say it out loud. There was freedom just in that simple expression. Owning my anger was the beginning of understanding that Jesus is still with me, even in grief. We don't have to get everything resolved before we come to God. That was a good one for me just to chew on, that we don't have to get that anger resolved before we come to God. Because sometimes that anger is never resolved. I don't think I'll ever not be angry that my husband was allowed to die when we had just gotten married. There's no way I could not be mad at that. Of course I am. But that's not going to stop me from going to God and following Him anyway. It's okay to feel the pain of God disappointing us. God already knows how we feel. Hiding it's not going to help. That's true. A lot of people are afraid to say how mad they are or how angry they are. But God knows how you feel. Hiding it's not going to do anything. That's why I try to be real with you guys, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel. And that's okay. God can handle it. I also like these two things I'll end with. Psalm 116:15 says, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his faithful servants." I'll admit that's still a hard one for me to stomach. Because God says, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his faithful servants. So that would mean that my husband dying is precious to God. It's not to me. But one of his children came home. So I guess if we see it that way, I guess it makes sense. Even though it's hard for us. But I'm sure if you have a child that you love, and you haven't been able to be physically with them for a long time, I'm sure it would be precious when they come home. Like a son going off to war or something. Kind of makes me think of children coming back home after they've been to war, because we're all in the middle of a war. And when we die and we go home, it's like we're coming home from war. Hard for the ones left in the battle, though. Very hard. Yeah. I highlighted this part because I try to keep remembering this. This is what Crystal Evans said. "I would rather cast my life with a God that I don't understand than with people. Like Peter, I ask, where else could I go? There is nowhere else to go." And for believers, the present, right now, this is not life. This is only an introduction to life. So if we keep that in mind while expressing our honesty to God, we can keep the right perspective in our pain. We can offer praise in the midst of our tears. Like the Apostle Paul, we can pray at midnight while still in chains. So when the storm is raging, trust God. I just wanted to share that with you because that part stood out to me, and it's a good reminder. And if you like to read, like I said, it's called Divine Disruption by Tony Evans and his family. There's also a video that they did together think actually the day after, or it might have been the same day that his niece died. They had to go to church that night. And they just talked about the loss and the confusion. I probably watched that video like 10 times after my husband died. It helped me through, because I could see the pain in their faces. And if you want to see that video, I'll try to find it again and leave the link in the description box. It helped me, so it might help you too. It was just good to see the raw emotion, you know. You could see the shock on their faces. And it made me feel like I wasn't so alone. So I'll try to find that video and put it in the description box so you guys can watch it if you want to. Okay? I guess that's all for today. I just wanted to share that book excerpt with you. And just to check in to see how you guys are doing. I haven't met you guys, but I love you guys. Your comments really touch me. Sometimes when I have one of those days where I just don't want to live anymore, I read through your comments and they really mean a lot to me. So, thank you. I'm really honored that God can use me to make you smile or just not feel alone. So, I'll try to give you a little smile before I go. Most of the time I laugh at myself, which I guess is good. I'm easily amused. But I usually try to bring something to show you or share with you guys. So I didn't bring anything today. I was looking around my kitchen cabinets. I was like, what can I bring for show and tell today? Well, the first thing I saw when I opened my cabinet, I was like, oh yeah. Today we're going to show off my great Aunt Ethel's secret to long life. I'm trying to make you laugh, you guys. I mean, who brings milk of magnesia to show and tell, right? My aunt would have. This was like her favorite thing in the world. I don't take that unless it's an emergency, but it just reminds me of my Aunt Ethel. She lived to be 100 years old. I don't think she was hardly ever sick a day in her life. I think she just had good genes. But that was one of her secrets. Every day, a bowl of Cheerios and a cup of milk of magnesia. I don't recommend that, by the way. But it was just funny because that was her That was her dinner every day. I guess it worked for her. I don't know a lot of people that make it to 100, so. Well, you guys have a blessed day, and hang in there, okay? I cried more last night than I have for a long time. Just thinking about my husband and how happy we were together. It's hard to see all of those dreams die. But we take it one step at a time, right? Every day we just take it one step at a time. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna be sad, we're gonna feel like life is over. But like I just read, I keep trying to remind myself, this life is not our real life. God teaches us that eternal life is the real life. This is just an introduction and like a school and a test and a war. So we just have to finish our battle. I'm glad I can be a part of yours and that you can be a part of mine. Big hugs to you guys. I love you. And until next time, keep pressing on.